This is Alexa Nikolas, a talented child actor who rose to fame in the early 2000s with her role on the hit Nickelodeon TV show Zoe 101. At just 10 years old, Alexa embarked on a journey that most kids could only dream of. She landed a lead role in a popular TV series and became a household name overnight. But the glitz and glamour of Hollywood can also come with the dark side, especially when it comes to child actors. Alexa's story is one of both triumph and struggle as she navigates the ups and downs of the entertainment industry from a very young age.
My childhood, professionalism actually created a very intense fertile ground for me to get groomed by my abuser.
For the people that follow my vlog channel, you might know that I'm out here in LA currently, meeting people, doing collabs, and talking with the people I cover on this channel in person, including talking to people like Alexa, who opened up about her childhood traumas and her current stalker.
He's been following me to my public events, and that's why I'm stuck in my car.
What were the pitfalls of child fame?
You're playing an adult's game in an adult's world.
Adults were more interested in finances.
Personal struggles eventually prompting her to abandon acting altogether.
They tried to silence her experience, and it was Nickelodeon.
I don't really know how to start the story, but let's start with the harsh reality of what it's like to be a young performer in Hollywood is that there's a pressure to perform and a lot of scrutiny of the public eye and also a risk of exploitation and abuse. But recently a lot of child stars have come out with their stories, people including Janette McCurdy from iCarly.
What were the pitfalls of child fame?
Stunted personal development.
And people like Alexa Nikolas.
At first I felt comfortable telling them that I felt uncomfortable on set and that there was bullying happening. But then they reminded me that I was on a set and that it wasn't Nicole 101 and that it was Zoe 101.
They said that too.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not Nicole 101.
So Alexa was cast at the age of 12 in 2004 alongside Jamie Lynn Spears on the hit Nickelodeon show Zoe 101, but exited after 2 seasons because of altercations she got into with Jamie Lynn Spears and because of the unsafe environment around the show's creator, Dan Schneider.
Protect children, not predators! Protect children, not predators!
What really happens when one person can have too much power?
Nickelodeon offered her a $300,000 thank you gift if she agreed to never speak publicly about her experience at the network, specifically with a man she refers to as the creator.
I saw Nickelodeon enabling his behavior.
There he is admitting that he was very aggressive to these young kids when working on these shows.
Dan Schneider himself, from his public original Twitter account, was soliciting pictures of children's feet from the audience, from Nickelodeon fans on Twitter.
I remember just going, wow, that's so weird, because I remember Dan Schneider like in every single wardrobe fitting for me.
Oh my God.
To the point where he would sit in the chair and I would come out and I would do a spin and then he would look at the wardrobe artist and say, can I have the Polaroids?
There are a lot of articles and great videos on the predatory practices of Dan Schneider, so you should check those out. I'll leave the links in the description. But ultimately, Alexa's experience in the entertainment industry is how we got here.
NDAs are not okay! NDAs are not okay! Silence is violence! Survivors united will never be divided!
For me, I'm a survivor, but what I started to realize was that not only was I a survivor of specific abusers, I was also a survivor of industries that were enabling this type of abuse.
Protect survivors, not predators! Protect survivors, not predators!
So ePredators is an activism company founded by Alexa in 2022, which seeks to call out alleged predators and networks.
Physically showing up was one way, but then how do you merge that with social media? And so I started to merge the two, where I was like, okay, we can do protests, but then at the same time, these protest signs don't have to be just one-liners. They can be informative platform.
Yeah, I've seen your videos where you take through. No, I love it.
And Nickelodeon Studios is actually one of the first locations where ePredators did their first protest in October of 2022.
So Alexa, who played Jamie Lynn Spears' best friend on the hit series, staged a protest outside of the company's headquarters in Burbank, California, while calling out the numerous execs who've been accused of child abuse.
Janette McCurdy's book came out and your protest in front of Nickelodeon
yes,
went viral.
It did.
Just like many other people, the protest called out Dan Schneider, among other people who were employed at Nickelodeon.
Dan Schneider, and to me, he is the creator of childhood trauma. He played a huge role in my personal childhood trauma. I did not feel safe around Dan Schneider while I was working at Nickelodeon. Actually, every time he came on set, my body got extremely tense. And later on in season 2, he yelled at me, made me cry in a room actually at Nickelodeon.
No one cared about my mental health whatsoever when I was, that's why I had my protest sign saying Nickelodeon didn't protect me. And that's just really how I felt at the end of the day was, I know people are gonna focus on Dan Schneider, but really the accountability lies with Nickelodeon because enablers, abusers, predators, whatever you wanna call these individuals are gonna come and go. But what lets them and allows them to perpetuate the abuse are these institutions that enable and protect them.
And I saw this on TikTok, and that's exactly how I became aware of e-predators in the first place, and where I met Alexa protesting outside of TMZ HQ. So the full vlog and the story for the TMZ protest is up on my other channel, my vlog channel.
I wasn't able to get out of my car today because I was experiencing harassment and stalking for the 3rd time in person.
I've seen everything that you've been doing online. I actually found it on TikTok.
No way.
I think you reposted something from like Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah, I did.
saw that, and then I checked out your Instagram, and that's how I found out about everything that's happening today. What is the current protest that you're talking about? Link will be below. But since the TMZ protest, it seems like e-predators is doing a lot more. They have a lot more planned.
I really started to see that predators are gonna come and go. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there are predators everywhere. Scary, it's kind of scary, but it's true. But they don't have as much of an access to future victims or victims in general if they don't have enablers, giving them a platform and power to perpetuate the abuse.
But it seems like thanks to the efforts of Alexa, Nikolas, people like Janette, McCurdy coming out with the book, among other great podcasts, a lot more people are paying attention to the horrors of being a child star and some of the emotional tolls it's taken on a lot of people in the present. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below if you did enjoy it, and I'll be back very soon. Don't forget to check out the vlog. Link is going to be right below.
I was hoping that the adults would have more insights into how to make sure that all the kids got along, but the adults were more interested in finances and the network, etc. And so they weren't trauma informed. They weren't informed in general on how to deal with children, which is like most of the Hollywood industry.